They say you can tell a person's story by the way they sit at a piano. If that's true, then the night my life changed started long before I ever touched those keys. My name is Eli Carter, 14 years old, son of a maid living in a one-bedroom apartment on the south side of Chicago. My mom cleaned at this place called the Langford Theater, a marble palace where the rich gathered every year to clap for themselves and call it a gala. I used to help her carry linens, push her cart, polish banisters, quiet work, invisible work. But every time I passed that grand piano in the center of the stage, a Steinway so shiny it looked like it could swallow light, I swore I could feel it breathing. Eli Mom would whisper, "Don't look too long. That world isn't for us." But I couldn't help it. I'd go home, sit on my busted keyboard balanced on milk crates, and play until my fingers cramped. That keyboard was missing 5 keys, but it was mine. That night at the gala, everything smelled like champagne and money. I was cleaning in the back when I heard Mr. Langford, the maestro himself, tell the crowd, "Real artistry is born, not taught. Some things can't be found in neighborhoods like those." And people laughed. Soft, polite, expensive laughter. I don't know what came over me, but when his duet partner canceled and he threw open the challenge saying anyone may try if they dare, I heard my voice before I felt my legs move. "I'll try." The room froze. 400 heads turned toward the balcony where this skinny janitor's kid stood shaking like a leaf, but trying to look brave. Langford's lip curled. "And who exactly are you, Eli Carter, sir?" "Carter. From where, the South Side?" "Ah. Then this will be educational." They laughed again the way people laugh when they've already decided how the story ends. But I walked down those marble steps anyway. My mom caught my eye from the side hallway, her face pale, mouthing, "Please don't." I couldn't stop. I'd spent too many nights dreaming of that moment. I wasn't walking anymore. I was falling towards something I couldn't take back. Langford sat at the piano first and played Für Elise like he was showing off for God himself. Every note was perfect, every gesture rehearsed. When he stood, the audience sighed like they'd just seen magic. "Your turn, Mr. Carter. Do try not to scratch the instrument." I sat down. My legs were jelly. The bench smelled like leather and fear. But when my fingers touched the keys, real keys, not plastic, I swear the world just faded. I didn't think. I didn't copy him. I just played. The same melody, but softer at first, like a secret, then stronger, trembling, aching, because that song to me wasn't some recital piece. It was the sound of a kid hoping the world might finally listen. When I finished, no one clapped at first. They just stared. Then a single person in the back started applauding, and suddenly the whole hall joined in. Langford's jaw tightened. "Luck," he said coldly. "You memorized one piece. Let's try something real." He slammed into Chopin's revolutionary etude, violent, blazing, fast, every note a bullet. When he finished, he sneered, "Let's see the maid's boy handle that." I almost ran. My mom was crying now. But behind those tears, I saw something else, hope. So I sat, again adjusted the bench, took one breath, and played. It wasn't perfect. My left hand shook, but halfway through, I stopped thinking about mistakes. I just let it burn. Every insult, every night I'd fallen asleep on homework, because I'd practiced too long. Every time Mom came home bone-tired but still smiled for me, I poured all of it into that song. When the last note hit, the room erupted. People were on their feet, some of them crying, others furious that they were. Langford's face turned to stone. "Adequate," he snapped, "but let's see if you can truly feel." He played Rachmaninoff's Prelude in C minor, dark and thunderous, shaking the chandeliers. When he finished, he looked straight at me. "Try that if you still dare." The manager tried to pull me off stage, said I'd gone too far, but people from the audience shouted, "Let him play," including a woman in diamonds who clearly wasn't used to yelling. So I did. And this time it wasn't just about music. It was about my father dying in a hospital we couldn't afford. About Mom holding 2 jobs so I could keep dreaming. About every locked door, every look that said you don't belong. Each chord hit like a confession, loud, raw, real. When I reached the end, the hall was dead silent. Then slowly applause rose like a wave until everyone was standing. Langford didn't clap. He just stared. "Competent," he muttered. Then came the debate. A music professor stood up, said I played with understanding. A critic said my performance had more heart than Langford's. Phones were out, cameras rolling, people arguing about class access race. Everything that piano suddenly meant. Mom finally walked out from the wings, voice trembling but fierce. "Stop telling my son he doesn't belong. You don't know what he's given up to stand here." You could feel the room shift. Langford tried to talk about standards, about refinement, but every word dug him deeper. Donors threatened to pull funding unless he proved his foundation was about talent, not pedigree. Then he turned to me. "Fine. You win. Choose your charity." I said, "I don't want your money. I want you to teach me." The place went crazy. Gasps, whispers, cameras flashing. Langford's face went red. "Do you have any idea what my time is worth?" "You offered 100,000, I said. "That's 2 years of lessons." He stared at me, and for a long second I thought he might laugh me off stage. But he didn't. Maybe he saw something in me. Maybe he saw the cameras. 2 years, he said at last. 3 lessons a week. But I will not go easy on you. I don't want easy, I told him. And that's how it started. The next morning, Mom quit her job at the theater, found another cleaning gig with better hours so she could get me to lessons. Mrs. Chen, my old teacher, brought over stacks of sheet music and a metronome older than she was. "He will break you down," she warned, "but I will help you build back." She wasn't kidding. My first lesson with Langford felt like being hit by a truck. He tore apart everything I did, my posture, my rhythm, even how I breathed. "Your pedaling is mud," he barked. "Your 4th finger is lazy. You rush when you're scared." By the time I left, I thought I'd made the biggest mistake of my life. But that night, Mom said something I'll never forget. The hardest teachers are the ones who see something in you. The ones who don't, they just smile and let you fail quietly. So I kept going, week after week, practicing until my hands ached, until the church piano felt like home. Langford never praised me, not once, but one night after tearing through a Bach fugue, he said softly, "You still don't belong, not yet. Not yet." Those 2 words stuck, because not yet means someday. And that's the story I wanted you to hear, not just about a kid who played a fancy piano, but about every person who's ever been told to stay in their lane, to know their place, to dream smaller. So tell me, what do you think? Was Langford right? That talent needs pedigree, or can brilliance grow anywhere, even in a 1-bedroom apartment with a broken keyboard? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you've ever been told you don't belong, write "not yet," because maybe that's where every great story begins.